Okay, go.
Good morning and welcome to Mind Tripping with Michelle. My name is Michelle Melio and I'm going to be your host for the next half hour. Today we will not be logging into our radio show. Instead, I am going to be talking with you about the magic of colors for a little bit, your aura, how colors can help you manifest things in your life, and what those colors mean and how you can utilize them with gemstones, candles, all kinds of different ways that you can use color. So this is the magic of color. And the reason that we're not going to log into Blog Talk today is because I am trying something new and I'm going to invite people to call in whenever I do live readings on the air or if I have a special guest to interview. Since I am not going to be doing either of those today, I'm not going to log into the Blog Talk. I think that probably I love to listen to myself talk for an hour, but I'm not sure so much if you love to listen to me talk for an hour. So I'm giving you a little bit of a break this week. I will be doing a reading live on the air today, but it is an email reading that came in through my website. And for those of you that are not aware of this, if you go to my website, michellemelioonline.com, I offer email readings. And you can ask one question, you can ask two questions, or you can ask a full email reading. So this is where we're trying something new this week. I'm going to actually answer that email reading live on the air for my client that has written in. Of course, you will remain anonymous. No one will know your name, but I thought it would be really fun to actually see me give you your reading. If you have a psychic question that you would like answered live on the air, go on over to my website, michellemelioonline.com, and click the one email question and fill out your information. And who knows, you may end up getting your question answered live on the air as well. So, colors. What are colors? Our whole life is colors. We see with our eyes, we look around our environment, and we see beautiful colors. When we're trying to set up our home, we choose paint colors that match our personality and that we like, that are aesthetically pleasing to us. We set up a decor in our home that matches those colors. We, most of the time, color code things. And we dress a certain way and we pick out colors. So I hear a lot of people, and I'm sure you're the same, say things like, oh, that's my favorite color. I love that color. I always buy shirts that are this color, or I always wear this color. And today I'm going to tell you why you select those colors and also how you can change things in your life and shift things based on the colors that you're wearing. Now, I want to go back. I want to step back a little bit, and I want to talk with you about your clothing and the clothing that you choose. A lot of times, our aura will emit an energy out to people, and I talk a lot with you about sending out that energetic vibration out into the world, and that what we are sending out energetically, what we think about, we shift our vibration, we send that out energetically into the world, and then in turn, we attract things back to ourselves. And a lot of that has to do with color as well. When we shift our energy, when we change our colors, we end up, when we shift our energy, we change our auric color. And I'm really sorry, I'm distracted. My cat is in the background, totally distracting me. Apparently, my aura color is getting him all wonked out today. So, where was I? Okay, so the clothing that we pick. A lot of times we'll pick out a certain color clothing based on the auric energy or the energy that we are sending out into the world, okay? I'm going to go over colors with you. We have this aura around us, and many people that do aura photography are able to capture the color of the aura that surrounds our bodies and get a really good look at the energy that surrounds us. If you've ever seen an aura photo, it's pretty amazing. It shows all these layers, and depending on whether you're somebody that holds your energy in close or lets your energy out, spreads out, you can actually see those layers of energy from the body. And those layers of energy are filled with colors of the rainbow. Some of the colors that you'll see in an aura, you will see purple, And purple represents our psychic energy, our intuition. When you're feeling like wearing purple or you like being around the color purple, chances are you have purple in your aura. Thank you, Magic Coffee Delivery. And purple represents our intuition and our psychic abilities. So perhaps a day that you felt like wearing purple was a day that you were feeling highly intuitive, or that you wanted to shift your energy or shift your aura to the color purple to help be more intuitive throughout the day. Purple is also a wonderful color for those of us who are anybody who is in recovery, working on trying to break a bad habit, drinking too much coffee maybe, things like that. It helps us get in touch with our higher self and our intuitive nature. Now, too much purple, too much purple in your life can represent, I personally don't think you can have too much purple in your life, but too much purple in your life may represent that you're spending too much time in your intuition. You're spending too much time in that higher vibrational energy and not enough time in your worldly life, in your earthly body. And your earthly body is very important for prosperity and for abundance and for those shelter, those human experiences that involve the most primate natures will be, you're grounded, the energy that keeps you grounded. So if you feel like you have too much purple in your life, or you feel too much in that intuitive energy, you can also mix with your purple some earthy colors. For example, here I have some lovely browns in my shirt. I wore the most colorful shirt I could today to show you the colors. Green is a very earthy color, so I have green in my shirt. I also have brown, and brown is tan is a very earthy color, and they go well with purple. So of course you want to make sure that you color coordinate. If you have green energy or a brown energy, usually it's a tan. You are a natural healer usually, or you're somebody that works in the healing arts, or you're a nurse or a doctor, or somebody that's really into herbal energies. Also could represent that you're a very earthy person, that you spend a lot of time in this earth energy. And spending a lot of time in this earth energy means that you're probably really good at balancing your budget. You're really good at saving money. You're really good at making money. You're really good at keeping money, holding on to money. You have a lot of prosperity and abundance in your life. And people that have too much green in their aura can actually be spending too much time in that earthy energy and not enough time experiencing life, not enough time in trusting their intuition and trusting their gut, so to speak. So a person like that you may not be able to easily connect with others, or able to easily be compassionate or understand what they are going through and see through other people's eyes. So if you would like to add more of your intuitive nature to your life, and you're feeling like you're spending too much time in those earthly possessions or in earthly body, you can add a little purple to your life. And also purple goes very well with green. Purple goes very well with the darker colors, so you can still keep that color. Another aura color that I'd like to talk with you about is the color blue. And a lot of times in an aura photo, the color blue will show up. And blue represents peace and calm. Blue represents our emotions. Blue represents meditation. Blue represents that side of ourself that's able to keep calm and to find resolve to our problems and troubles. Now, if you have too much blue in your energy, you may be spending too much time letting the things that bother you just kind of roll over you or roll away. You also may be a little bit too emotional. So too much blue in your life can go either way. It can be that you're not dealing with the things that are emotional to you, and you're just staying calm, almost being a doormat to people. Or you can just be too over the top emotional about things, almost overreacting about things and getting all emotional. I tend to have a lot of blue in my aura because I am the type of person that will cry during a television commercial. And I know I have a lot of peace and calm. Of course, I also happen to be a hypnotherapist. And when I write and record my hypnotherapy projects, I spend a lot of time in that meditative state. So it makes sense. So it's really important if you have too much blue in your life to balance that out, okay? And a wonderful way to balance out the blue is to really work on your earthy energy, or your earth, sending out that earth energy. So a wonderful thing, again, you can add browns. We want to ground, we want to focus. And another thing that you can do is you can also add yellows to your life. The color yellow represents joy and happiness and that creative energy. So sometimes the yellow mixed with the blue energy can find creative ways for us to deal with our emotions and to still be happy and joyful about it. So in other words, instead of letting people roll over you, you can in a joyful way say, look, this is what's bothering me. Wear yellow. Bring yellow into your life. And yellow and blue go lovely together. And I do have, as you see, I have some yellow here. I have different shades of yellow. I have really light yellow, the yellow strand going up. And so this is a wonderful way to bring some joy and happiness while creating balance in my life. So again, we'll talk about the yellow. That yellow energy is our creative energy. And if you're a type of person that really likes the color yellow and likes to wear the color yellow, you're a very creative person. You're a very joyful person. You are a person who, will dance outside barefooted no matter what the temperature is. I have a very, very special dear friend in Massachusetts who is a yellow person all the way. Her energy is almost always yellow. And it just spreads joy everywhere she goes. And she is the person that will run around barefoot in the snow and enjoy it. So what can happen if you have too much yellow energy? I think you can have too much yellow energy, and this can be troublesome. You would be the type of person that would just spend too much time. I like to call it the Peter Pan syndrome. Too much time in the fun zone. Too much time having fun and adventure and not wanting to focus or deal with the things that are really important in life, the things that you have to hunker down. People that have a little bit too much yellow in their energy tend to spend too much time avoiding the to-do list or finding creative ways to do it or doing it last minute. So if you think that you might have too much yellow in your energy, a wonderful thing that we can add to it, or a color that you can add to that yellow energy to balance it out, would be the green energy. That green, earthy, healing, focused energy. So when we combine the yellow and the green, we get some balance there. Okay, so far we've talked about quite a few different colors that your aura can be. I've also known people to have a red aura or an orange aura. And red and orange, red is a color of passion and orange is a color of passion and attraction. So it's really like that different shade of red is what the orange is. And red represents our passion in life. And too much red energy can represent a person that gets angry easily, or a person that, really reacts instead of responds to things that are going on around them, and a person that, can tend to have angry outbursts. Also, a person with too much red or too much orange can also tend to be really be sexually active with multiple partners and have a difficult time settling down into a traditional relationship. Not that that's bad, but if you're feeling like overwhelmed and you're feeling like you have too much red or too much orange energy in your life, you can add blue to help bring some peace and calm. And you can also add some browns to help keep you grounded and focused. Blue is also a color of communication. And I think that if we have too much red energy, it's important to add that blue energy into our life. So we've talked a little bit about yellow, we've talked about brown, we've talked about green, we've talked about red, we've talked about orange, and finally I want to talk with you about pink. Okay, pink is the color of self-love, and anybody that has pink in their energy is a very compassionate person, very selfless person, and a person who also has love for themselves. I don't think that you can really have too much pink in your energy, but if you're feeling like you're spending too much time focusing on others' needs rather than your own, and based on what you're having a difficult time with as a result, is it that you're a natural healer and you're having a difficult time with your prosperity and abundance because of that? Add some browns, add some greens, add some earthy colors. If you're feeling like you're not being able to express yourself, add some blues. If you feel like you're not really enjoying what you do, or you're losing the passion because you're helping so many people, add some yellows. Those are wonderful colors to add. Another energetic color that I like to talk with you about is white. And we see white in the aura a lot as well. And white is the color that represents our highest spiritual self, our connection to God, or our connection to Goddess, our connection to the God of our understanding. And you'll see in a lot of spiritual paintings, mostly Catholic, but you will see these saints and they have this white ring in their painting drawn over their head. And that white represents their connection to the God of their understanding and their connection to God. So when we see white in our energy, it usually represents an extremely spiritual person. And I think that, white is wonderful. I think that no matter what color you decide to wear, it's absolutely wonderful to add a little bit of white. And of course I have my little flecks of white in here, and I have white lines in here. So those are colors. Those are some of the colors that can help enhance and shift your life. So if you're feeling one way, and if you'd like to specifically act another way or attract things into your life, you can change the color of your clothing. You can just close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and visualize that color entering into that energy that surrounds your body and filling yourself up with that energy. You can also carry gemstones with you. Sometimes just the color of the gemstone. I have so many people fascinated with gemstones, and I am a true gemstone junkie. And over the years of working with gemstones, I'm fortunate enough that I remember what a lot of the qualities are. I just naturally remember what they mean for each stone. But here's an easy way for you to be able to go to your local New Age store and pick out a gemstone. Go with the colors. Learn what those colors represent. Reference this video and pick out the gemstone based on the color. And you will, when you look up the meaning, you will almost always get exactly what you are looking to attract in your life. And for those of you who like to burn candles to attract things into your life, use the color candle that's associated with what it is that you're trying to attract, and you will attract it every time. At the end of the day, it's really all about your intention and your belief that you are able to manifest what it is that you desire most. So I hope that you found this little talk useful for you. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my cards. I'm going to get my cards, and I'm going to do an online reading for one of my clients who wrote in. So what I'm going to do is this particular client, as I said, she wrote in on my website. I'm just going to, how much more time do I have left on that broadcast? 9 minutes. Oh, perfect. So she had wrote in over the weekend, and this past weekend I was away at a psychic fair. I had a wonderful time. I was over in Melbourne, Florida, and we really had a great time, and I met a lot of wonderful people. that's the good news of a psychic fair. The challenging aspect of a psychic fair is that when anything else comes in, I can tend to have a little bit of overload. So I did answer this young lady's email question while I was out of town, and it was just really like a 2 or 3 paragraph answer so that I could get an answer to her so she wasn't waiting too long for it. I thought that would be really nice for me to have a second look at her question and give her a wonderful reading on the air. So this client asks me, she is in a relationship with a certain person, and I do have the name of that person in mind, and she wants to know what I see for them in that relationship. So that's what I'm going to have a look at. As I'm shuffling my cards, one of these cards falls out for me, and it's the 7 of Hearts. And the 7 of Hearts for me represents, this is telling me that her reading really is going to be based on getting rid of what no longer serves us, releasing those things in the relationship that aren't helpful, that may be hindering it from moving forward. I'm going to throw some more cards to get some more clarity on what specifically that is that it's time for them to look at. So the first 5 cards that I'm going to pull are going to represent her in the relationship, what she has to offer, where it's going, and how it's going to work out. And then the second 5 will represent him. Okay, so I do see that both of them in this relationship have past relationships. Okay, so it looks like both of you have past relationships that are affecting this current relationship. Okay, both of you, in other words, have somebody that you are an ex to that you are no longer involved with, or that you need to break away from and release completely before you can start this relationship together. And that's the 7 of Hearts indicates for me that that's what we really need to get rid of. That's no longer serving us. Holding on to these old relationships are no longer serving the relationship that the 2 of you are forming together. You in particularly, I feel as if you consider him a really good friend. You consider him very mature. You consider him calming. You feel like this could potentially be a really long-term relationship. And I see that for you. And you also feel like this could potentially be a person that you could be in love with. And I see that with my 10 of Hearts, everything that you wanted and everything that you look for in a person. My addiction card does show up here. And addiction doesn't necessarily mean addiction to drug or alcohol, although it could. My addiction card really means the inability to stop obsessing over something. So in other words, whatever this is that you're obsessing over is affecting the quality of the relationship. And on either sides of this addiction card, I see the long-term relationship and the falling in love. So I feel as if that you have been really searching for a long time for somebody to fall in love with and to have a long-term relationship. And it's something that you crave so deeply in your soul that in past relationships, you may have jumped in a little bit too fast in hoping that you would end up, that this was going to be love. Now, I like to say that every single love experience, even if it only lasts for a day or for an hour, is a wonderful experience, because to have experienced love in your life, even if it's just for 1 second, is an amazing gift of being human, and it's an amazing gift of the human experience. And even that 1 second with somebody can fill us with so many lessons and so many gifts that help us move forward into the next relationship, that sometimes we are blinded by it and we only focus on the negative, that it was just too short. So I feel like probably I'm telling you to really just stop obsessing and worrying about it. Everything's really going to work out between the 2 of you once you both have completely stepped away. I do hear him saying, I love you soon. And this did show up too with the reading with you. He could potentially fall in love with you. And if you haven't already heard those words, you will hear them soon. And, he just really needs to kind of step away from his past as well. You make him very happy. He hasn't been happy in a long time in relationships. What the two of you bring together, I know I'm running out of time. I see everything working out for you. I see this being a really good, solid foundation. We need to really stop smothering or whatever. And I feel like that's just the obsession part. And don't worry about even smothering. Just be yourself. Have a great time and enjoy this relationship because it's really a truly good one for you. And I like him for you. I like the way the two of you match up. And I feel like you're going to grow together as a couple. So there is your live online reading. How awesome is that? You order an email reading, you get an email reading, and you also get to see me live, pull the cards, and give you a reading. And I hope that you find it very, very helpful. And again, if you have an email question that you would like me to answer live on the air, go ahead and visit MichelleMelioOnline.com. That's MichelleMelio online.com. Go on over to the one email question and my services, fill out the information, send it in, and who knows, maybe I'll be answering your email question live on the air. So I hope you have a wonderful, amazing week. Again, this is only going to be a half-hour broadcast today. Please use those color references that I gave you in your daily life. And as usual, I love to hear your responses. I'd love to hear how this worked out for you. Feel free to leave a comment right down here on the bottom of my YouTube page or here on Google+, or shoot me an email, and you can get in touch with me through my website. Thank you so much for watching Mind Tripping with Michelle, and I'll see you next week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until then, namaste.